All right, welcome everyone. This is our sixth episode of Alien Destroyer of World. It is our finale. We are finishing tonight. With me, as always, are some fantastic players that have been found and organized through the Gauntlet RPG community. This game was set up through Gauntlet RPG. We are a community of gamers who enjoy a variety of different game systems, some very narrative and things like GM-less and diceless, and then even ones on the heavier side like Alien, bordering trad and such, and OSRs and everything in between. You can find us at gauntlet-rpg.com or just by searching in your favorite search engine. For anyone watching or listening, we are using safety tools. We have already gone over them offline. We have all consented to body horror and descriptions of gore. So please use your own discretion when engaging with this content. All right, let's go around and everyone give your name and pronouns, please, and your character. And if you want to, give a quick blurb about where we left off with your character, you're welcome to do that as well. Jason, we will start with you.
All right, I'm Jason. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Captain Silva, she, her. And the one thing I remembered I want to put in John's mind is that last time I got a good manipulation result on Eckford, the corporate agent, and she was impressed and may help me later on.
Thank you for that reminder. That is good to know. Next, let's go to Mark, please.
Hi, I'm Mark, he, him pronouns, and I am playing Dante, who uses she, her pronouns. And Dante is, it's been a while. She's a short timer. She's just trying to get through this and get out of the core. But she does have some complications that are developing. And I cannot remember precisely what she was up to when we left off, except that I know that she was really trying to get off of this planet or moon.
Yes, I think that is a mutual feeling. And Matthew, would you go next, please?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I go by he, him pronouns. I am playing Gunnery Sergeant Mason today, and she definitely would like to see this place and every single specimen and every single, alien like just burned to the ground. And I have to say also, for my part, when Mark cleared his throat, I panicked just a little bit. I thought, oh, are we going in media res like right away off? But anyway, looking forward to tonight or this morning in my case.
Yes. And I don't think I gave my own name and pronouns. I'm John. I use he, him pronouns. I am the game mother, so I am running all of this and playing all of the fun people that surround our Marines. So when we left off, the Marines had made their way back to Fort Nebraska after war broke loose, followed by a single attack by this unknown mammoth ship that unleashed a rain of black goo, which put things outside sort of to an end while also shutting down the moon colony. So you've found yourself coming back into Fort Nebraska, but it has been transformed all along the walls of the interior. Black sticky resin coats the walls and ceilings as things move in the shadows. We had a firefight in the lobby where Mason, working through her past experiences, felt it necessary to fire blast one of the bodies that had been cocooned in the resin and attracted a couple of xenomorphs. But you made your way through that. You found the body of your commander who first sent you on this whole mission, Major Hatfield, barricaded inside of the armory. And then after breaking through some of the resin, pulling out a little bit of new gear, you set to making your way through the fort, knowing that if you have any chance of getting off of this moon rock, you've got to get that space the space car operational again, which is going to mean starting up the nuclear reactor in the basement of this fort. So you made your way to the Apollo mainframe, the supercomputer that controls everything. And as you entered, you found the body of a woman lying on the ground next to these stacks of the computer mainframe. Coming out of her arm was a single cable where you could see she had jacked herself into the mainframe. And as you're taking this scene in, Chaplin began to scream out, yelling that the voices were back. They were back. Not now. It was happening again. And so I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of rolls. And let's see how this plays out. Here we go. Here's one. Let's roll this dice. And here's another one. So Chaplin continues to scream. And you see the eyes on this woman open and lift and look to all of you. What do you do?
Does it seem as though Chaplin's reacting to her?
It's
Being
hard.
assaulted in some way?
It's hard to say. He sounds as though he's in pain. He is not, speaking to any of you directly. You could attempt to calm him down. It's like he's in a fit at the moment. He's not making sense.
Is it okay if I try to rip Chaplin off of her?
So Chaplin has not gone towards her or anything. He is, standing next to all of you.
Go ahead, Matthew.
Just slap the nonsense out of him.
Okay, go ahead and make a command roll.
All right. Oh yeah, my great strength. Let's see, command roll.
And remember, we have those story points. This is probably the day to spend those if you get a chance.
Yes.
Command.
Hold nothing back tonight, because I certainly will not be.
Oh, let's see. Is that something? Nope, it's nothing. It's a nothing.
You
know
go.
Let's push. Let's push.
You want to push it? Okay.
Yeah.
Add a stress and roll it all again.
All right, we've got a face hugger. So before we have the success, we need a panic roll. But thankfully, you take off 2 from whatever your panic result is.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem. 5.
Okay. 5. You keep it together. So go ahead. Tell us what's it look like as you see Chaplin, kind of twisting and turning and yelling. How do you approach them and try to get them to settle down and talk straight?
I mean, if he's twisting and turning, like his body's just going sort of like jerking around, I try to Mason tries to grab him by the shoulders and, shake the shit out of him. And I assume that this is not enough. And that's when Mason proceeds to, slap him on the side and, tell him to get a hold of yourself. You were programmed better than this.
And he says, there's something wrong with my programming. I can feel it. There's something overriding my systems. I don't know if I can keep fighting it off.
I'm gonna pull that wire out of the arm of this female android.
Okay. Go ahead and make a Comtech roll.
Okay. Comtech. That's pretty good. You got 2 successes.
All right, and you actually have a stunt that you can spend.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. I think it probably makes most narrative sense. You do it quickly. I pull the wire out just in such a way that whatever it does it very quickly.
So you pull this wire out from this woman, and the eyes jerk over to you, and then she stands up, and you hear a small clearing in her throat, and she says, I am Jael. I have been waiting for someone to return, and to return operation to this fort.
Well, you're in luck. We're here. Jael, did you have something to do with whatever's going on with Chaplin there?
Chaplain, that
The
is
thing. Sorry.
that is the one that is screaming? The
Yeah.
synthetic?
Yeah.
I'm unaware of what might be wrong with him. I was simply trying to interface with the fort's computer and see if I could restore operations.
Chaplin, do you still feel like something's trying to take control of your programming?
This-
He says it's there. I'm keeping it off. I'm not sure what it's what was there before.
I
Earlier.
am no comms expert. Is there a way to cut Chaplin off from transmissions, from any kind of like external input?
You would have to shut him down.
Okay. Chaplin, does this signal seem to be coming from here in the base, or is it from that ship up above us, or something else?
I honestly I can't pinpoint it.
Okay.
It's I felt this presence when we first left here. It had more control then, though. It made me act how I wouldn't have chosen to. But at the moment, we seem to be somewhat in a stymie.
Dante is going to keep an eye on Eckford while this conversation is going on to see if she can see anything that seems to be taking place that would indicate that she's somehow involved with this.
Eckford is standing towards the back and has a look on her face that seems to say that she might recognize this female synthetic. She doesn't seem very shocked by this person.
Dante will say, Eckford, you know this, you know Jael?
I do. That's the colonel's second in command. Jael speaks up and says, yes, I work for the colonel.
Where is the colonel?
I am not sure. During the attack, he told me to come here and make sure that the operations stayed up and running. He said that he was going to see to the exit, the evacuation of the base.
Do you know what's going on in sub-level 3, Jael?
That information is classified.
Eckford, do you have some way to get this android to tell us what's going on?
We could tie her down and force it out of her.
Yeah. Look, we need to get this Jael, you were trying to get Apollo up and running, I take it?
That's correct. Apollo is currently in reserve mode. I was making sure that its systems were still operational and able to be brought fully onto line when power is restored.
Okay. So that's what we want to do too. So can we do that here? Do we have to turn on the power first, or what's the process?
Before you'll be able to use Apollo for any sort of base actions, you'll have to restore its full power. At that point, you'll have full control over the base and its various parts, including the climber car.
Okay. So do we need to go down to the reactor first then? Is that what you're telling me?
For you to be able to, yes, you'll have to go to the reactor. and restart it. The reactor is in emergency shutdown mode.
Okay.
I would be happy to accompany you in this endeavor and assist in any way I can. It's what the colonel would have wanted.
Right. Jael, go ahead and keep keep working on the computer here for a minute. I'm gonna talk to my troops here for a moment. I'll kind of pull Mason and Dante aside at least. I'll say Hammer and Z, keep an eye on these guys. Be like, all right, guys, I don't know who to trust here. And I pointedly have not brought Chaplin into our little huddle either.
I think Chaplin would, approach when you go to huddle. Chaplin walks over. So what do you do?
I say, Chaplin, I'm sorry, we can't really trust you right now. Something's trying to control you. I need you to stay over there. Keep an eye on Jael, all right?
And being synthetic, they don't have the best way to replicate human emotions. But if a synthetic could look hurt, Chaplin looks hurt and says, I understand, Captain. That's the right decision. I'll stay over here. Perhaps I can he looks over towards there's a terminal by the mainframe that's it's on, it's in low power mode. Perhaps I can confirm what Jael has told us about the status of the computer.
Okay, you do that. Okay, guys, what do you think we should do? Who to trust, who to leave where, who to have help us, who to frag? What do you think?
Is this a game of fuck, marry, kill, sir?
Yeah. So
I think that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think that obviously Chaplin's got something going on, but I've been kind of worried about Chaplin since we got into that bar and Eckford showed up. I don't know. I think Hammer. I think you can trust Hammer. And I don't know what's up with this other synth either. Jael, that's.
What do we know of her orders? What do we know of Jahel's outstanding directives? I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah, I'm sure Jael is doing what the colonel wants, and the colonel obviously has been using Marines as guinea pigs. So, and Jael's not going to tell us the truth. I mean, I asked her and she said, it's classified. I think we're going to get that answer a lot to all of our questions for Jael. So I don't trust Jael as far as we can throw her. So
then more importantly, will Jael present an obstacle to our objectives? Because that's the thing. Like right now, all I'm concentrating on is blowing this place up, and I think we need to sort of get rid of any potential obstacles, any inconveniences.
Right. But we have to get the power on sublevel 2, I think it is. Then we got to get Apollo back online. Then we got to get to the elevator. And Eckford wants us to go to sublevel 3 to do whatever she wants. And then also Myers is down there, and I'd really like to put a bullet in his head. So we've got a lot to do.
How much use are we going to get out of Jael? If Jael, provides any kind of communications or technical assistance in our objectives, then fine, we keep her. But if not, and Mason reach us thumbs her pistol.
Yeah. So let me speak out of character for a minute, John, to you. Would it mess things up if we were to divide the party? Would that work? So I think that I'll suggest then is look, we need their technical skills of the synthetics. If we send, we send Mason and Dante, I want to send you with Chaplin down to turn the generator on, to turn the reactor on. And we'll send Hammer with you in case you run into any hostiles. And the rest of us can stay here and try to be here. Once you've done that to turn the power on, then we can all meet at the elevator and get the hell off this rock. What do you
Okay,
think of
let's
that?
do it.
Sound like a plan?
Let's do it.
Mason, you on board?
I'm on board.
Frosty?
Frosty.
Okay. All right, so I think that's what I'll turn to everybody. I'll be like, okay, here's the plan. Mason, Dante, Chaplin, and Hammer, you're going to go down to sublevel 2. You're going to get the reactor started. As soon as that happens, we're going to start up Apollo and Eckford. Then maybe some of us will go down to sublevel 3 and take care of your business. Then we'll all meet up. We'll all meet up at the space elevator and get out of here.
Eckford,
So be the captain with Eckford.
What's that?
It's you, Captain, who will be with Eckford.
Yeah, I'll keep Eckford here with me.
and Eckford looks at you and says, well, I don't understand why we even wait. Why don't we go grab that stuff while they're restarting the reactor? I mean, that's going to take some time. We'll save time if we just go ahead and go get what we need, and then we can start the computer, or we can have Jael start the computer from up here.
Yeah, you're right, Eckford. You go ahead and head down there, and we'll meet you at the elevator. Okay.
Whoa! No, the deal was that I get my nice shiny marine escort, and then when we get out of here, I make sure you don't face a grand jury panel.
You're right. When we'll meet you at the elevator, and we'll all ride out of here happy as can be.
Escort you there.
Yeah. I got to stay here and keep an eye on the synthetics. You can wait until we get, we get things in order, or you can go now by yourself. It's up to you, Eckford.
She just kind of like, harumphs and goes to a corner and sits down in the corner. So I guess I'll just wait then. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to pull Mason. Oh, which one is? I think that is. No, the other one's Dante.
Right? No, you had Dante. Did
I have Dante?
That's me, Silva.
You're me, Dante. Go. Yeah, you got her.
And then we're gonna send Hammer with
Hammer and Chaplin.
Yeah.
And so Silva, Eckford, who's not pictured, Zimyevsky, and Jael stay up here in the mainframe.
Okay.
All right. So let's see then. So y'all are headed for sublevel 2, is that right?
It's where the reactor access is, right?
That is. Yeah, so if you like zoom out and look at the level, like we just kind of talked through the path you're gonna have to take really quick, right? You've got to go down. I think you've got to take either like these ladders, or there's some lifts around the side. That will get you to sublevel 1. Actually, you can take those all the way straight down. You can go all the way straight down to sublevel 2. That's right, because it's all one passage.
Okay. Cool. So I'm sorry, these ladders here?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
So let's go ahead and so let me roll this. So the first service shaft that you come to has actually collapsed in on itself. The ladder has torn away from the wall as the interior has broken to pieces, where you can see the structure has shattered and broken. So this this left one is actually impassable. I wish I had like a stamp or something. You know what? I can draw a shape. Let's do that. That way we can remember. So that first one's actually impassable. So then you're gonna have to head to the next one.
And Mason, I think you're in command of this little crew, so boss it up.
And I meant to ask this. Who all had the hazmat suits? Ah,
The three of us, Hammer and Eckford, all have one.
okay. So everyone heading out has one, except for
Yeah.
Chaplin, who doesn't totally need one.
Okay.
That makes sense.
What's the location of the next next access point?
It looks like from where you're at, let's see, where does, oh, that's not the tool I want. Delete that. Trying to see where this, oh my goodness, where this one comes out. If that, yeah, I think that one ties up to this one, which then you'll be able to take around. So you're gonna end up on the right side instead of the left side. So you head out to this passageway. I'm gonna go ahead and drag it down here. And this one is clear, thankfully. It is dark, and as you climb down the shaft and get closer to sublevel 1 and its open doorway, Mason, your radiation detector kit, the whole way down, you feel it starting to, tick up bit by bit. And then it just continues to increase as you pass by sublevel 1. And when you come out of the opening down here at sublevel 2, it is now at a steady pulse, this sort of high, strong number that tells you this area is fairly well flooded with radiation. And so with the radiation suits, the hazmat suits, anytime you would take radiations, which would be right now, you roll, I think it was 6 base dice. And as long as you get 1 success, your suit absorbs it instead of you.
6 dice isn't feeling like a lot lately.
Yeah.
Rolling now, is that correct?
Yeah, go ahead and roll now. All right, so both of your suits do the job. Let's just check Hammer really quick. If I can focus the right form. There we go. Hammer is good too. As you come out into this sub-level, the resin here is thick and heavy. It's hot and it's humid. And Dante, your chest is starting to kill you. Describe what it's like as you're exiting into this, alien territory now.
I think at this point, Dante knows something's very wrong, and at this point, she's starting to wonder if it's a heart attack or if it's something more sinister, and she doesn't like the outcome either way. But she's gonna get kind of close to Chaplin because he's the closest that we have to any kind of medical personnel, and just try to stay very close to Chaplin in case she needs to get his attention in a hurry.
Chaplin seems fascinated by the wall coverings and the sticky resin all around you. So for the reactor, it is down in this fusion tower. Would you like to head straight there or check out anything else?
For Mason, absolutely.
Yeah.
Head straight there. Is that what you're saying, Mason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what I like to do is, oh wait, you don't. Sorry, I'm just trying to recall the stealth rules in my head. So you make a roll when you encounter an enemy. That's right. This isn't like D&D where you got to roll a stealth check up front. So as you move further down this corridor, you have to exit down this long power walk. And when you get to this room where the one that's labeled maintenance pit, you come out of this power walk and you find yourself faced with a room where dozens of bodies have been hoisted and cocooned against the walls. You can see people lining all over the place. And you hear the sound of some bones breaking in one corner as a wet thud of fluid splashes onto the floor. It's dark, so you can't quite see where it came from. And then you hear sort of this light, high-pitched squealing sound as something has just emerged in the darkness.
Dante says, no. Flame it, Mason.
Mason flames it.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and let's do a quick, get some turn order numbers in here really fast and see who's up first.
At this point in the narrative, if anyone panics and says flame it, I don't think Mason will question it.
That is understandable.
Unless he sees she sees like a humanoid form, like, no, stop. Initiative.
Yeah, if you'll go ahead and just roll an initiative number really fast. Let's see. What are the speeds on these things? Are these 1 or 2?
If it's what I think it is, I think it's 2.
Which part of the map are we using? Fuels?
Yes, these are 2, so I need to add one more turn.
Sub-level. Which sub-level? Space?
You guys are in
there we
sub-level 2. The
Yeah,
maintenance,
near the fusion tower. Got it.
Maintenance something or other.
There we go. Gonna click on you. Do I?
Okay, let's see. Dante got a 6. And Mason got a 5. All right, so lucky for y'all, you are up before this thing. But you don't quite have a sighting on it. So Mason, what's the plan here? You're just dousing the room in fire?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, assuming I see any kind of silhouette or any kind of, I mean, I'm trying to parse this through roleplay because Dante immediately uttered it, but I don't know how that resolves.
Yeah, I mean, so right, to set the scene, you're basically in complete darkness, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
um the light you have is what little bit of light's coming from the tip of your flame thrower.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can just barely see a few feet in front of you, as you can see the bodies up on the walls, and you just heard the splashing of you know fluids hitting the ground, and then a small squealing, kind of almost like a, I don't know how you describe it, just the high pitched whining sound of something out there.
Wait, my
Cap-
cat asking for breakfast in the morning. Let's see. So the way I'm seeing it from an RP perspective and a mechanical perspective is that Mason does not have very high stress levels right now, so it doesn't make sense for me to actually do a panic attack. But an attack out of panic. But at the same time, it does make sense to me that Mason would probably already have her hand on the trigger, and I don't know what constitutes ready in action in this system.
Yeah, you can do Overwatch. I think
Ah,
you could do Overwatch, and that lets you save your slow action for later in the round.
sure.
So you take the ready position, and
Yeah.
then Dante, you're right after. You what action are you taking as well?
So even though we can't see anything, Dante is like, hit it, Mason, hit it. And she pulls around her pulse rifle in kind of the direction that she heard the squeal from, to the best of her ability to determine where that was from. And she's going to go down on one knee so that she's ready to fire at that.
Okay, so also doing an Overwatch action.
Overwatch.
Yeah, makes sense. And then you see this small creature come racing forward as it just enters into the light of the flamethrower. Rolling dice, and it, with an amazing burst of speed, leaps up into the air straight at you, Mason. And it is jumping straight to your throat.
Ah, flashbacks of warm memories.
I guess, you know what? I think the Overwatch comes into effect right as it enters in. So go ahead and make your attack roll. Hopefully you can catch this thing before it can get by you and get at your throat.
All right. No penalties or bonuses other than stress.
So you're in darkness, so that's -2. And then because of the size of this, that is actually an extra -2.
Oh, so that's a -4.
It is a -4.
Wow. That is a hit and a face hugger.
Okay.
It
So I'm
tracks.
gonna put that panic in, and it's a 3.
So you're keeping it together.
Oh, wow.
Let me see. This actually.
So it's 2 damage, and then you roll all that fire intensity too. So you can do that probably right now, Matthew. Roll 9 base dice for the fire.
Sure. Let's see. Base dice 96. That's a 1 success.
Excellent. And these actually don't have any armor against fire. So
Oh.
yeah, Mason, that was close. This thing comes flying forward, but you get this burst of fire out just in time. And I think it like comes through the flame, right, and comes out the other side blackened and sizzling, as it kind of then just lands with a thud beside you on the ground. And you can see it's this kind of long white creature with a rounded head and a bit of a tail at the end, and these small arms, and you can smell its burning flesh and the bit of blood and that it had on it from where it had just come out of someone's body.
Mentally, Mason would love to go like that to Dante, but at the same time, she also knows that's how people get killed, and she is really trying. I think she is really trying to keep it together, as is evidenced by the panic rolls.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you then look up and you see that there's dozens of people in this room, and you can see some of them. There's what looks to be like something stirring in their chest. It's maybe just a matter of moments.
Stirring in their chest. What?
We've got to get through here. Got to move to what is it, the reactor relay room? Let's move. Come on, Mom. Move.
Mason runs towards the reactor relay room, and she sort of like looks back, thinking about torturing those motherfuckers, but at the same time, no, but at the same time, like, we're gonna blow this place. So we're gonna blow this place,
Yeah, so you all quickly leave out of this room, heading towards the reactor relay room. Dante, you're the last to get up and to leave. And just as you're leaving, you feel heavy, wet breath breathing onto the back of your neck. And you turn and you see this long black face square with yours. We're going to cut away and go back to the control room. So Silva, you're up in the mainframe room. What are you doing to take charge of the scenario, of this situation?
I think I'm sitting down, smoking cigarettes, and trying to repair maybe my comm unit while I have Z keeping an eye on Eckford and Jael.
Yeah, do you want to attempt a comm-tech roll to
Sure.
fix your comm unit?
I think I'll also activate my signature item, the smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Take off a stress. Comtech. Yeah, I got one.
There you go. So you've repaired your comm unit.
Right. And that reminds me, the suits that they have had comm units in them, the environment suits, but those were probably fried though. Now I think about it, the EMP probably destroyed the comm units in those suits too. So I probably can't talk to them.
I think it actually would be narratively interesting to say that those hazmat suits, because of their location and because that's like pretty low level tech, right?
Okay.
I actually want to say that those comm units probably do work, and so now that you've got yours working, you can communicate with them. Though it's going to be, given the like levels you're trying to talk between, it's going to be spotty at best.
Right. So yeah, maybe I turn that on and who knows what I hear, but I guess if there's remaining time, I guess I'll go over to Eckford and I'll say, Eckford, I've been thinking about it, and I think you're right. You and I, let's go down to sublevel 3. I don't want to risk anyone else's life. They all have their mission. They'll get to the space elevator. Let's do this.
She looks at you and says, "What's changed?"
I'm not an idiot. I know that whoever goes down there is not coming back up. But Myers has got to pay for what he's done. I don't want to leave any chance for him to get away from this place.
Look, I don't know where Myers is at, but this isn't some sort of trap if that's what you think this is. I just
No, I believe you, Eckford. I've been reading the tea leaves. There's going to be nothing good down there.
if you want Myers' secrets, they're down there and they're in that computer.
You get whatever you want. I just want to get payback on Myers.
Okay. Hey, I've got no problem with that.
And
All
look,
right.
here, you take this, and I'll give her my pulse rifle. And I'll grab my flamer, and I'll say, Z, I've got communications. Maybe you can get yours working. I'll be able to talk to Mason and Dante. You got the job here. Make Jael reboot the computer when the time comes, and then get to the space elevator.
He looks. He's, oh God, Captain. All right. I guess. Yeah, I can do that. All right.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah. You too. Keep your eyes open. All right. Whoops. So you and Eckford head out from the mainframe.
Yeah, I think I saw there was like an elevator that goes straight down to sublevel 3. On the bottom right of the second level here, restricted direct to sublevel 3. You see that right there?
I do. Yes, yes, yes. And so when you hit that elevator, yeah, it's got a keypad. One of the restricted keypads on it. So you swipe the card that you got from Eckford, which brings the lift to you. Well, it opens the lift doors because the lifts aren't running right now with the power out, but it does open the doors. And let's just do a quick check, see if there's anything too off here. Okay, this one, there's smoke coming up through it, so it's dark. But no, it doesn't look like it's an active fire. Probably something coming from somewhere down below.
Well, Eckford, do we wait for the power to come on, or do you want to climb?
God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I guess let's climb.
All right, let's put these environment suits on. That'll give us an air supply, so we won't get smoke inhalation at least. And let's climb down after
All right.
you.
All right. And so she'll start making her way down, slow and steady. And I think let's go ahead and do an air check on those suits.
Okay.
So I think it said it starts with 2. Here we go.
I'm all right.
And I'll roll on hers. Maybe. Oh, I didn't hit. There we go. All right. You can hear the whole way down Eckford breathing heavy. Sounds like there's maybe like a little bit of panic coming over her. So this is definitely well outside her element, especially trying to carry that pulse rifle down. But you make it. And so let's see here. Oh, this will be interesting because actually sublevel 3 is on a whole nother page. So let me see. Let me grab you. Maybe. And come over here. Let's see. Where does this elevator come out? I think it's this one.
Yeah.
That looks right.
Directed level 2. That sounds right. Like it.
So Eckford tells you, she points down the one side of the hallway and says, all right, well, that way, that's where he kept all of them, pointing down towards the containment staging and cold storage area. She says, "What I need is over in the med lab."
Okay. All right. As good as anything. You know who I'm looking for. Go ahead, lead the way. I'll keep an eye out. Now I'll kind of be spinning around in all directions. Is there a resin around in here, or is this clean?
1 second. So this area is actually clean. Yeah, and you're in this like side hallway. So from what you see right now, yeah, this area looks clean. There's it doesn't look like it's really, it's not been covered in resin. It doesn't have signs of firefight in it. I mean, compared to everything else, right? Like this place looks like a hotel at this point. The power's out. That's about the
Right.
only thing off about it.
Okay. And I presume it has a look of sort of a researchy lab kind of thing
Yeah,
versus a military base.
yeah.
Okay.
Down here is the white paneled walls,
Right.
very sterile looking.
Mm-hmm.
So she leads.
Would it
Sorry,
be
go
too
ahead.
much to ask when I fix my communications? Could I fix my light too, or is that asking too much?
I'll allow it. Yeah,
Okay.
let's go
So
with
I
it.
got my little shoulder light then.
Yeah, you've
providing
got a
some
little
light.
shoulder light. I don't know that will negate the dark modifier and stuff, because that's especially hard to work a shoulder light while you're aiming a gun.
Sure.
But at least for walking around, checking things out.
Okay. So it sounds like we're going into the med lab here.
Yeah, so she walks you over to the med lab, and so you see this room is relatively unscathed, and contains 4 auto docks with matching diagnostic computers. In the middle of the room is a single examination table, and on it there is a strapped down corpse, gagged and with a hole in his chest. His ribs are bent outwards as if exploded from the inside. And
I've
all
seen.
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've seen this before.
She looks at you and says, "What now?" "Oh,
This is Reese. Reese looked the same way, right?
that's right. God, that feels like it's been.
Weeks ago.
Well, I just need something out of one of these storage areas." And she points to some of there are these stalls lining around.
I'll say, hold on a second. Cover me, and I'll slowly scan the room and see if there's anything dark and nasty, lurking, you know, before we start peering around.
Okay, go ahead and make an observation check.
Okay. Two successes.
You start to scan, and you see a blur of movement come from down the hallway inside of this quarantine lab.
It's about how big?
It looks small, looks fairly small, maybe the size of a dog or so.
And are the doors into the quarantine area closed or
No,
open?
they are open.
Okay. If I can, I'll slide the door shut then to try to trap whatever it is in there. While still with one arm having my flamer, aimed that way, I'll try to slide the door shut or whatever it takes to physically close the door.
Yeah, so as you go to close this door, your shoulder lamp pointing out into the open room, you see this small figure turn the corner and race towards you. Go ahead and make a mobility check. See if you can close the door before it gets to you.
1 success.
All right. You give it a solid shove and you pull this door closed just as the same kind of creature that Dante and Mason had encountered up above jumps forward and pounds into the other side of the door, and you can hear it repeatedly just jumping at the door. Everyone's just like, oh God. Good thinking on checking the room.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'll cover you. Get what you need.
She walks over to a storage locker and opens it up, and you see her pull out this, big luggage size bag. She kind of opens up, takes a quick scan of it, closes it, and then she reaches up. You see her scoop some items off of a shelf into her bag. They look like they're needles or something, some sort of medical equipment.
Say, is that everything you needed?
Yeah, that's it.
Ready to go?
Yeah, if you need some drugs or anything, I mean, this is the place to grab it.
And I'll turn the flamer on her and I'll say, throw that bag over there against that wall.
All right. I think we'll cut back to Dante now. So Dante, you've turned and been met face to face with this large creature whose hot breath you can feel. It fogs the visor of your hazmat suit, and it looks like it's almost sniffing you, like an animal smelling another animal. And it just pauses, and then it starts to recede up the wall.
And Dante's hand goes to her chest, kind of instinctively, I think, at this point, and she sheds a tear. She starts to her face gets kind of screwed up, and she sheds a tear, and then she starts to like back away from that toward the bulkhead where those guys, where those others just went through, to try to catch up with them.
All right, let me pull this back over to Fort Nebraska, and we'll come down here. So the reactor relay room, this is where you actually restart there's a terminal in here. And this is where you can control the reactor. And at the moment, you can see that it's in emergency shutdown mode. And there's this diagram on the screen showing the fusion core and showing that it is fusion core exposed. And it says that it must be closed before it can be reset.
Chaplain, is that something we have to do manually, or how does that work?
Afraid so. And he holds up his hand, and you can see radiation burns, starting to come on. He says, I'm, probably not going to make it out of here. But maybe it's, for the best.
Oh, well, wait a second. If you go in there and push that down, does anybody know how to restart the reactor?
I mean, I'm probably the most qualified for that too, but
Hammer, Mason, you guys know how to do that?
I am just as qualified as you are, Dante.
Chaplain, can you talk me through it? If I go do it?
I can try to.
Okay, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna do this, okay? This will protect me, I think, for a while anyway, right? So we'll see what happens.
It should be straightforward. I mean, it sounds like the core didn't close like it was supposed to. So when you get in there, just look for there's going to be like an override switch. Look for that, and then you're probably going to have to there's a gearing that's got to be turned. That'll close it.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I got this. Okay. Hey, all right. It was a good run. All right. And then she's gonna walk into the reactor room.
All right. So you head into the reactor room. This is rebuilt from the colony's original atmospheric processor. And so this 3-story underground tower is what originally powered the whole colony. You enter in and it's, dark aside from just, some bits of emergency lighting that you can see filtering through the resin where they weren't completely covered. And the light from the core itself where some of the paneling around it sits. So you make your way over to the tower. And it is a heavy machinery roll.
Oh.
To start working on this thing.
Okay. I'm prepared. Modifiers?
No modifiers.
Okay.
Okay. So this is going to take a turn of work. So it's going to take about 10 minutes. So if you wanted to use a stunt for having that, that'll get you down to 5 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
Will do.
And then you've got one more stunt, I believe.
Is there a list on the, or not
I
really?
don't think
I don't.
one.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
I did not copy this one over. Let's see.
I'm looking it up. Heavy machinery, is that what we're doing? You can get a +1 to a later skill roll related. You got this. You don't need to roll to do the exact same thing in the future. You break it permanently. You act quietly. You show off.
Is it making an amount of noise while I'm going through doing this?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm going to try to do it quietly then.
Okay. Good decision. All right. Because what I would like for you to do is make an observation roll.
Okay. Modifiers?
This would be at -2.
Okay.
For the darkness.
I haven't seen my result. Oof. Okay, so make a panic roll. 7. I can't remember what that is. Is that tremble?
I think it is. That sounds right.
Nervous twitch.
Nervous. Oh no.
+1 stress.
Well, I don't think I have my finger on the trigger of the pulse rifle.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think you don't need to roll the D6 for that.
Okay.
You might hit the
yeah,
blow up the reactor button.
Core.
The really big red button.
Nervous twitch. Okay. Stress level. Okay. So my stress level goes up 1. That does make me roll again, but again, I don't think that I don't think I have the pulse rifle in my hands. So.
Right. No, I don't think you need to roll that. And so let's see. You got 1 success.
Yeah.
So I think because you're doing this quietly, they've not quite found you, but you can hear things moving around in this room.
Okay.
You are not alone in here.
Okay. The comms unit is working on this to communicate with the guys or with the people in the relay room.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
There
okay.
there are no cameras or anything like that. We're just basically listening to Dante from outside.
Yeah. Because all the power is down. Yeah. So, I say, hey, somebody tell me something good. Somebody tell me a little story about something. There's some company in here. I'm trying to do this as quiet as I can, but it's really distracting me.
Maybe that's where I hear it, when I'm standing there with the flamer on Eckford, and I say, Dante, just think about those animals you're going to be helping when you get off this planet. Just think
Right.
about all those normal animals.
Definitely,
about-
yeah.
As I'm, eyeing Eckford in front of me, try to calm him down.
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah,
I try to build
cats.
off of that and say, like, think about when you get off this rock, the first big hug you're gonna get from a dog.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, dogs. I got it. Dogs, got it. I love dogs.
All right. So as Dante continues turning this wheel, bit by bit, the core is lowering back down into it. I think that is where we will take our first break. Let's go ahead and make it a 10-minute one. So we'll say 19 after the hour. All right. See you then. All right. We are back. So I think we'll come back to the scene we left with Eckford and Silva. So Silva, you've got Eckford standing there as you aim the flamethrower at her. She's holding the bag. She says, "Hey, listen, just be smart about this, all right? I thought we had worked something out. If you get rid of me, who's going to speak for you when you get out of here? There's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of people. It can make things very hard for you, but I can make that go away."
Eckford, whatever mad science you and Myers have been doing here has killed all these people. It's not going to leave this planet. Throw it over there. You can go, but none of that research, none of those samples, whatever that bullshit is, none of that is going to leave this planet.
You're making a mistake here, Silva. This is our ticket. This is our future. What have you dreamed of? You can anything you want, you can have it. But we've got to get this stuff back.
I'm just a simple soldier. I just want to take care of my troops and get them off this rock. We'll take our chances with the future when it comes. Right now, Eckford.
She kind of looks down at the bag and she goes to toss it, and she tosses it straight at you.
Okay.
And you hear her fumbling with the pulse rifle. I don't remember. Does your pulse rifle even work?
Well, you could totally call bullshit on this because I thought about this after I decided to do this, but I thought maybe there's no bullets in that gun. When I gave it to her, I gave her an empty gun.
I'm totally fine with that. I mean, she wouldn't really know how to check that anyways.
Oh, you didn't say that? In my head, that's what it said.
Right. No, I thought about it later, but it's pretty cool, so I like it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it to you then. I mean, what's it look like as she throws this back at you, and then you hear the click as she's pulling the trigger? What do you do?
Shake my head and pull my trigger.
I do think this is an empathy roll.
I'm not really killing her in cold blood, though, am I? I mean, this is pretty much, she's made clear what she intends.
She's a defenseless person, though.
All right, we'll go for it. For empathy. I'm just going to roll medical aid. Or I'll just roll 4 base dice. Base dice 4. I missed it.
There you go. And I think you add a stress, right? I believe.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead and add that stress level. But there goes Eckford. She screams out, a ball of flame. She runs forward, stumbling over the examination table, taking the corpse with her, and then it's just, a few moments later, still, as the whole thing starts to smolder and slowly go out. And the bag lands.
I was just going to say, for dramatic purposes, I'll burn that too. I'll give that a good burst of flame also.
Yeah. And you can see that the bag where it landed spilled out. There's tons of cash, Weyland-Yutani cash there, a nice pressed business suit, and then about a half dozen of these cap syringes, unmarked, not clear what's in them.
Right. Well, maybe I'll pocket some of the cash and then I'll burn the syringes.
You're still a poor soldier.
Right, exactly. That might grease a few, few civilians or whatever, when we get off this planet, maybe make it a little easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you said you're going to burn the syringes.
Yeah.
Loves me.
Yep. All right. So Eckford has been dealt with, and you're down in this med lab alone. What do you want to do?
Well, I still think I need to find Myers, and are there any computers here to look around to see? I don't know if there's a way to track where he might have logged in to a computer or something. I guess they're all offline though, because all the power's down. So I think I just start wandering the halls, carefully moving through the halls, room to room, trying to find where Myers might be, because he's next. I think I'd probably be pretty methodical, so I guess I would probably go to the isolation ward next.
Yeah, and so
I think I'll quietly, as I'm moving, I'll check in with these guys and be like, I had to frag Eckford. There's no way I was going to let her get anything off this planet. Whatever. I'm looking for Myers now. Don't worry about me. Get the computer started. Get to the elevator and get out of here. Check in with me when you're ready. Give me a few minutes. But if you don't hear from me, it's been a pleasure serving with you guys.
It's been a pleasure serving with you, Captain Silva. Good luck.
You too.
And so as you start to walk these dark halls, you make your way over to the isolation ward, and you can see that this entire area, a fire at some point broke out and has actually burned it completely. And this area's been destroyed by fire, so that's a no-go.
All right, so containment then I guess would be next.
Mm-hmm. Heading down to the containment staging. The storage door you see is cracked open, sitting open. And you can see it's a heavy, like a vault door, a meter thick of steel reinforced concrete. And there's and so it's cracked open, and as you head inside, you see these large warehouse-sized rooms that are sitting in there, holding various things. It looks like a lot of this area has actually been cleared out recently. In the first 3 areas, you see that they've been emptied out, and mechanical scratch marks are all along the floor where heavy equipment has been moved. And then in cold storage 4 is an abandoned power loader that's sitting near the door. And inside of it is a room filled with rows of human-sized cold storage stasis tubes. You can see there's a soft blue fluorescence coming from the back of the room.
So I'll pause. I'll look all around carefully before I proceed towards that fluorescence.
You come to a third aisle that has 12 occupied chambers. Inside of each one is this large black creature curled up in a ball. They appear to be immersed in some sort of glowing blue fluid and are in some sort of stasis at this point.
These are the xenomorphs that we've seen, or this is something else?
These are xenomorphs, yeah.
And the cryo tubes, do they have people in them that are along the walls that you mentioned?
No,
These
they
ones are
hold
empty?
these xenomorphs
Oh,
until you reach the final one, and you see a man. You recognize this man. You see Colonel Myers suspended. He's in his own cryo hibernation.
so he's asleep, basically. I mean, is there like medical readouts or whatever? Like, is there some sort of like battery power or something that's running on?
Yeah, these
Yeah.
these tubes would have their own power supply, and so you can see the reading on the side that says that gives the health of the occupant, and you can see
Right.
it says cryostasis active, no warning signs detected.
Okay. So I think maybe this will be that empathy roll again, but I think I'm going to turn off the power to his cryo.
Yeah.
Whether it's pulling wires or flaming it or just pushing buttons, whatever it takes.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I missed it again.
All right, go ahead and add another stress level.
Right.
I just want to say I'm enjoying the mask slip off on the commander.
Yeah.
I have 4 empathy. I've missed that 3 times, so I'm doing good on that. Merciless.
And so do you do you think you like short circuit this thing and it like over freezes or thaws too quickly and and that's what's gonna do the job?
Yeah, I like that, like the irony of that. I'll make it super cold, so that he'll never awaken from this.
Yeah. And you can hear an alarm on it starts to beep as it shows manual override, safety parameters exceeded, and it shows the temperature on it dropping to like negative 300 Celsius at this point, and the whole thing, the glass just completely frosts over as it just submerges to temperatures that are far beyond what it should be.
Right.
So there are still these other 12 tubes with suspended xenomorphs in it. Anything you want to do with those?
Yeah, the yeah, I think I just I just want to dramatically kill them. So whatever would be most. I don't want to have any chances they're going to wake up and kill me, and put it that way. But I think the coolest way I can think of doing it is Ripley style. I'll get to the door and I'll just pump some grenades in there, and just create a conflagration and just destroy everything.
I think I'm good with that. How many grenades do you have?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
I do remember we did pick up an incendiary grenade last time, so I definitely load that one up and let that one fly. That will definitely do some damage. Whatever I have, I'll use them all up.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and say, because yeah, I like the Ripley style picture, and if you're wanting to make sure that this is a for sure thing, and that this isn't
Right.
going to be something where one of them crawls their way out, then it's going to take. I like the imagery of you just pumping all the grenades into there, and you hear these containers break open as the fluid they're suspended in spills out, but then you hear the grenades exploding, and we see acid and fluids flying everywhere as things start to melt and disintegrate through.
Sweet.
And so I'll go ahead and tell you from containment storage. Well, actually the lights are out. I was going to say you'd be able to see the space elevator over there, but it is still dark, so never mind. You're not able to see it unless you want to go investigate that yourself.
Well, with this, I was looking at the maps. So is the space elevator? Can you board it from any level? Basically, is that how this works?
No, so it is 3 stories tall. Normally, it would be parked where you could board on levels 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
But you would have already learned that it is positioned so that you have to board at either levels 2 or 3 right now, because it actually was brought down lower.
Okay, so I think I would probably head that way then, knowing that, if I do know that. Either I go to the space elevator or I go back the way I came to the elevator back up to level 2, whatever makes more sense.
So I'll say, I'll tell you this, and I'll let you tell me which way you're going. As you just after you finish this, grenade party with the storage tubes, your radio crackles to life, and you hear Zhimieski on the other side say, "Holy shit, that worked! Hey, Captain, I've got my radio back on."
Good job, Z.
Hey, Captain. I think there's something going on up here. This synthetic, she's doing something on the computer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what. I'm not really one of those tech smart people, but she's doing a lot of something.
All right, Z, tell her to back away from keep your distance. Tell her to back away. Shoot her if you need to. Stop her. I'm on my way.
Okay, Captain. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Be careful. Those things are dangerous.
All right. And so it sounds like you're gonna head back for the elevator then.
Yeah, I'm double timing it back.
Okay. Let's go back to level 2 with Dante and the rest. Here's the players. Here we go. So Dante, you are turning this wheel, lowering the core back down into it. You're getting closer. You're almost there. Mason, you're waiting in this relay room with Chaplin and Hammer. And as you're waiting for this reactor to be ready to restart, you feel a heavy weight, Mason, slump against your back, and you feel Hammer's arm throws over your shoulders, and you see Hammer has collapsed on top of you.
Irritated and annoyed, I throw Hammer off me,
And
and
he falls to the ground with a heavy thud. And you hear a groan from him, and then you hear him start retching.
the fuck Hammer, keep it together. And annoyed with him, I sort of like hit him with my boot. Try to yeah, I just hit him with my boot.
And he grunts, "Oh, something's fucking wrong with me. Oh, God, I feel like shit."
Player. Character. I guess I asked Chapman to help me investigate this, sort of like what's wrong with the Hammer, and just sort of try to haul his ass up and bring him to like maybe a surface where I can rest him.
Yeah, I like that. So you and Chaplin pick up Hammer off the floor. There's an office chair in this room from where the operator would normally sit, and so Hammer throws off his smart gun onto the ground and just sits back into it. And from the bit of light you've got, you can see his face is covered in sweat. He's got what looks like some bile around his mouth where he just threw up. And you can see light black veins etching their way under his skin.
I think we can conclude that that Mason at the very least has seen the black veins in the bile, if not necessarily any other symptoms. And that's when Mason draws out her pistol and tries to look for anything else. Actually, no, let's not be dumb. Even if she has never seen a chest burster, it's reasonable to assume that she's seen the aftermath of one. And so that's when she starts tracking down and sort of like looking for something in Hammer's abdomen.
Okay, so you're like looking at his suit, like looking to see if he's been bitten. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that Mason has probably seen an exploded chest cavity before from the incident at Yalfaro Station. She may have not seen a chest burster, like the act of an explosion, but she's definitely seen like whatever infected her people back then.
Yeah.
It ate its way out from there.
Yeah, and Hammer definitely looks less like those people, and he looks a lot more like Iona. So when Iona was bitten, yeah, and so your mind jumps back to up in the lobby. Hammer lost his breathing apparatus, and for a while was just breathing the open air. But it's totally reasonable to be looking around for things right now. So Hammer sees you pull out your pistol, and he's kind of put that fucking thing away. Come on, Mason. Come on.
Is he still choking? Is he still like spasming?
He just looks beat. He looks wiped at the moment. Like he can't hardly. He's struggling to. Hammer's a big guy, right? Normally he's like would easily outpower you. He puts his arm up to shove you away, and he's weak. He could hardly affect you, with his strength at this point. He says, "Oh fuck, I'm done, aren't I?"
Okay. I look for. Let's try to do this mechanically if you think that's best. I am looking for the most appropriate place where Hammer where the fetus may be gestating. That's what I'm looking for. Now the extent of Mason's knowledge is probably limited, but it's not like something that's unknown to her.
Yeah. Go ahead and do an observation check.
All right.
Because as this is happening, you also do start hearing, you hear another, burst of fluids from that room down the hall, and you hear movement there.
That's one success.
Then I will roll. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Okay, so you don't see it coming. You're searching this room as fast as you can, and your eyes are on the ground. You're looking at Hammer, and then you look up and you see that along the ceiling, a xenomorph has snaked its way to just above you, and it's going to drop down, and it's going to make an attack since it beat your observation. So I'll go ahead and let's move this. I'm struggling with Roll20 at the moment. Sorry.
I just want to say, like, I'm just splitting the difference between a targeted attack and a general attack. And when Hammer says, "I'm done, aren't I?" That's when Mason just shoots him and says, "Yeah, you are." Just general, like, unload the clip all over his body, hit as many spots as possible. That's probably stress inducing, right?
Oh, it definitely is. So yeah, actually, if you want to shoot Hammer, then you have to make an empathy check.
That's right. Empathy check.
And I think whether you make it or not, you take that stress point like I did.
Yeah.
When I
Okay, yeah.
killed
I'll mark.
people.
Do I mark the stress point before the empathy roll or after the empathy roll?
It doesn't matter because you roll without stress for empathy.
Ah, okay.
You just roll the base dice of your empathy stat.
Got it.
We've killed a lot of defenseless people.
Wait, did I roll that wrong? I think I rolled that wrong.
If you highlight over it, it'll show you all that you did not roll what were you trying to roll? Not to roll a 6, so you succeeded. You rolled a 1, a 1, and a 3, and again.
Okay, I clicked on the 3d6 button and I got a 5, but when I rolled the base dice button and said 3, I rolled 3 blanks.
Yeah. So yeah, you're able to empty this clip into Hammer, which is what I think prompts this xenomorph that's been hanging around in that room to drop down. Now I rolled a D3 to see who it would go after. Hammer was actually 1, so I think the timing works out right. Like this thing doesn't know any difference. So it drops down, grabbing Hammer's body, and then pulls it back up, into the rafters with it quickly, as you see it snatch your compatriot's body and pull it away from you. Dante, you hear the gunfire from behind you, and just as you're finishing lowering this core, it closes into place. What are you doing?
I say over the comm, "Hey, what's going on?" And then if it's in the correct position, I'm going to start double timing it.
Yeah.
Back toward the reactor relay room.
So you know there's other things in this room with you. So if you want to try and move quietly, then you'll need to make a mobility
Yeah.
check.
That's what I'll do. No modifiers?
No modifiers for you. I make an observation check for them. Since it's dark, it'll be at -2.
You might want to throw a story point on that one, although it looks like you'll need more than one story point to succeed.
Yeah.
In fact,
So
I think you only have what, 2 story points?
yeah,
I don't think you can succeed because you need more successes than they have
yeah.
observation. So,
Okay.
and
So
you got the
what up to-
-2 agility.
is that what I got? Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good timing.
yeah.
It's tremble. Right. Okay. Okay, got it.
Okay, so how do you alert these things on your way out?
How do they become aware of me?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So because I don't want to intentionally alert them, John, just to make it clear.
Right.
I think that as she's getting close to the exit, she's just like starts to let out kind of a low kind of a low keening she's this kind of drone from her that she's voicing as she gets close, and then she starts to, once she rounds this kind of what appears to be a corner here on her way out, then she kind of like sets into a run for the door, and that's together makes enough noise, I think, certainly to alert them.
Yeah, and when you set off on that run, you can't see it, but you can hear heavy movement speeding up to match your pace behind you. So nothing has come to attack you at the moment, but you are certainly being pursued.
Okay, got that.
And then Mason, you've just seen one of these things take the body of Hammer and pull it away. It quickly re-disappears from your sight, but certainly that's not the last you've seen of it. As Dante, you've now made your way back to this relay room, and the terminal's flashing. You Chaplin has already set to the terminal, right? And without even looking up at you, he's pounding at the keys, executing the necessary commands, and you can see in the glow of the computer light, his exposed skin is starting to really show the effects of the radiation. I'm going to have him go ahead and do a Comtech roll. And this is actually with a +1. All
Dang.
right. So I think given the circumstances, he's going to do it in half the time necessary.
Nice.
And help y'all get on your way out of here. So you come running in, and he says, "Nice job, Dante," and you hear him hit a few more keys. He says, "All right, done. That'll boot it back up. Let's get the fuck out of here."
Can do. Let's go.
All right. So what's it look like as y'all race out of this room and head back?
I think that Dante is maybe deluding herself a little bit, but she's going to take up the rear, and she keeps looking over her shoulder to see if she sees these creatures, these xenomorphs, with the idea that maybe she can stop them if she needs to, so that the rest of the crew can get out.
Mason,
I don't know what you're thinking, Dante, but hammer's gone. Best we accept that.
Hammer's gone. Now, Hammer was my buddy, Mother. Does that make any difference to me? I mean, mechanically?
No, I think it's maybe just a role playing
Yeah.
bit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So where is he? Where is Hammer?
Fucker's got him.
Jesus.
He needed to be put down. And before I could finish the job, the fucker's got him.
Oh my God. So he was still alive when they took him?
Seems to be, but it doesn't really matter either way.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
All right, so you all head out of this room. As you're leaving this room, I imagine at a pretty fast pace.
Yeah.
You start to see, systems flicking on as you move through the rooms. Lights are now starting to turn on. They start low as the light starts to raise. And I think you probably make it to about halfway down this hallway when you see the first of these xenomorphs round the corner behind you. This one is a long, several meters. It's got heavy plating on it. It looks a bit bigger than some of the ones you've seen prior. A bit more built for combat. Dante, you're in the back. What are you doing?
I shout, run! And then I'm going to how many meters behind me is it?
That is tough to say. What maybe why you're asking, and I can give clarification. Like I would say you're let's say you're just at medium range at this point, with the length of this tunnel.
I think the scale up above looks like that would be about 20-25 meters. So yeah, that sounds about right.
Cool. I took a guess and got it right.
Nice. Well, I wanted a chance to use this at some point during the game, so Dante keeps shouting, run, and then she turns and goes down on one knee and pulls the RPG launcher up onto her shoulder. And it's a nice straightaway, conveniently, so she takes aim at the alien that's coming at her. When given the opportunity, she will fire.
So here's what I think. Rather than rolling an initiative, let's do an opposed mobility check.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see how quick you are at pulling out the RPG and taking aim.
I think it's safe to assume that the two of us dive or crouch or something just to.
I tell you guys to keep running if you can. Keep putting distance down the tunnel. So I'm in the back.
Yes, right.
It's got 2 successes on its mobility. So go ahead and roll mobility, Dante.
So do I have a -2 because that's agility related?
You do. That's right.
Okay, so I got 1. It's got 2.
You've got
if
1.
you use both your story points, you'll beat it.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm burning those story points.
Or you could push if you wanted. Although the chances of panicking are real high.
Pretty high. I'm going to burn the story points. This is a good moment.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And fire that RPG if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
Any modifiers to this -2 again?
So
I think there's -1 for the range. But the lights were coming on, you said, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say that with the lights coming on, I think that darkness modifier is going away at this point. And even though we're not fully doing the combat mechanics, you said you're taking aim. So I think like all of that combined will take away the -2. But yeah, -1 for the range.
-1 for the range, copy. Okay, here we go. Okay, that didn't go through apparently.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. All right.
You need to roll a 3 or less on this panic roll, or you're gonna ruin it.
Motivational.
Yeah.
Wait, why a 3 or a less?
Well, because you're rolling d6 and you're adding your current stress, which looks like it's 6, right?
Oh
And,
yeah.
and if you get a 10 or above, it will ruin your successes.
It's a 50-50 shot.
There you go.
So, okay, so here's my panic roll. Okay. Shit.
No, that's good. You didn't get 10 or I mean, you got the tremble's not great, or the nervous twitch isn't great, but you
Okay.
didn't ruin your successes though. In fact, you rolled a 1.
And does that raise what is tremble? Does
Stress
that raise?
level.
Raises my panic, yeah, or my stress level by 1.
Yeah, and whoever else is within short range.
Okay, so Mason, you're going to take another stress level as well.
Yay!
But you are able to fire the shot. So damage 5. You've got 1 extra
Stunt.
success there if you want extra damage or a different stunt.
Damage 6, yeah.
Is this
It's AP.
This is armor piercing. Okay, so let's do half of this. So 4 total.
Does it explode too, or that's not part of the RPG?
I don't think that's part of the RPG because it
Okay.
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have the
Just
blast
a
radius.
single target. Okay.
But I think right, like it makes sense. So Dante, you fire off this RPG, and then the 3 of you continue to turn and run, and you get to the end, and just as the smoke is clearing, you see this thing now crawling along the side of the tunnel. It looks like you've probably blown off one of its limbs, like one of its side limbs, but it's still crawling after you and coming at a pretty fast clip. So let's go ahead and get some initiative numbers now.
Okay.
And just let me roll. Oh, that didn't work. Here we go. Okay, so it looks like this thing's going on 2 and 10. Mason, you're on 5, and then Dante's on 7. So it can at medium range, that would be 2 zones, I think, to close the gap, right? And that's how fast it can use its fast action to move 2 zones. I think I've got that right.
Yeah. Most Xenos have this special power that it's called sprint that allows them to use their slow action to go 2 zones. But then it would have a fast action. It can't attack with a fast action. So
that's right. That's what I was thinking.
So either way, it sounds like it just runs up to them.
Yeah. So in this first turn, you see it just continue sprinting down this hallway, and closing the gap. It's now at engaged range with you, Dante. Mason, you are up next. What do you do?
I guess I'll use protect Dante. Fire up on the alien with a rifle.
All right, go for it.
God, let's see. And here we go. Attacking, no penalties or bonuses. Lights are on, so.
Matthew, do you want to do full auto? Take a stress and do full auto. You get 2 extra die.
Yeah, full auto.
And do you want to aim with your fast action? That's 2 more die.
I still have, yeah. Sure.
So
Let's
4
do that.
extra dice.
Yep. Let's do it. That's 2 successes and a face hugger.
Okay, so you'll have to make a panic check, and you empty your clip.
Panic 4.
You're good.
So you're good on panic, but you do empty out the clip of your rifle, and you're gonna have to reload it. So Mason empties their clip into this thing. You do hit it. Let's go ahead and roll its armor.
You want to use your second action or your second one just to, well, it's up to you. Matthew, what do you want to do with your stunt?
Oh, you would do additional stunt?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna reopen the stunts one, but it seems like damage might be the best way of protecting Dante. Let's see. Range combat stunts. They don't make panics. Fall to the ground. Sorry, what?
I think we established either damage or falling to the ground or knocking them back is the only thing that really applies to the aliens.
Yeah. But I don't want to knock that sucker into Dante, so I guess extra damage is a choice.
Sounds good. And that actually, so 4 damage. Let's see. 4 damage. It blocks 1 though. So that doesn't quite finish it in. And there's going to be some acid spray. And for these, that is 10 base dice. So let's see. So as Mason empties their clip into this Xeno, some acid sprays out. So 2 dice. So Dante, make an armor check, and you need to block 2 of them.
Okay, and this is the hazmat suit, right?
I think we said we have the hazmat over our regular armor, right?
We
Is
decided
that what
we
we
could do that?
decided? Or did we decide we had to take one off?
We said that you can wear both. I do think it makes sense that it probably, right, the hazmat's on the outside.
Yeah.
So for the acid, I think it probably makes sense to do the hazmat armor first.
Yeah.
To see if it burns through that. I think actually, probably no matter what, this hazmat suit is done at this point because it's going to burn a hole in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think when you have multiple armor, you add them together. So I think if you just roll,
yeah, that makes sense.
So 6 plus 1, I think 7 base dice should cover it.
Whoops. Okay, hold on 1 second here. I just kind of messed up roll 20 here a little bit. Oh dear. Okay, sorry. So should I just roll base dice 7?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing? Okay.
You're looking for 2 successes here.
Okay, so that burns through the hazmat suit.
Burns through the hazmat suit and burns straight to your skin. So your marine armor didn't catch it at all. So probably like the arm, your arm that you've got extended, it burns through the sleeve and straight into your arm. So go ahead and take 2 damage from that. And you'll have to do an acid check next round.
I'm sorry, I have to do a what?
You'll have to do an acid check again at the end of the next round.
And then I take the stress when I and I take a stress when I take damage. Okay. So does that trigger panic? I'm spacing out here.
For you, it triggers the trigger finger.
Right. Okay, so I can roll that, although I've just spent the round that I had in this, so I don't think it's gonna make any difference. Okay.
Doesn't do anything. So the Xeno is up next. So this similar to earlier, Dante. This thing looks to you.
Hey, I'm sorry. Just to clarify, so Mason, that was all on Mason's go, right? So does Dante have
you're after.
I do have an action here. Okay.
Yes. My mistake. Sorry.
That's okay. So still engaged ranged, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's a slow action if you want to retreat.
Okay. Is there any place to go behind me?
Further down the hallway.
Okay.
I think you can, move alongside people and keep pushing down the hallway.
Okay. Well, I still want to keep myself between the Xeno and them. Here's what I'd like to do, and you tell me what mechanically is possible. I'd like to start moving back, having now dropped the RPG, and pull the service pistol
Mhm.
and fire at it.
So if you want to pull the service pistol and fire, you won't be able to retreat.
Okay, I'll do that and not retreat.
Okay.
All right.
Firing at engage range is a -3 because it's right up in your grill.
Okay.
Do you have a close combat weapon? Do you have a knife or something instead?
I have a combat knife, yeah. Interesting. So yeah, maybe I'll try to hit it with this combat knife. So I'll pull the knife instead of the pistol. Is that good, Mother? Okay.
Yeah, that works.
And then here's my attack. Any modifiers? Oh, I still have the -2 on the agility, or did that get replaced by?
You're actually using strength now for close combat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the agility, thing has gone away too.
Okay.
Since you have a new
Okay.
panic effect.
Okay. All right. So here.
Yeah, I don't think there's a different modifier for close combat at engaged. I think you have to be engaged for close combat.
Right. I think it just straight roll. A lot of stress die.
Hey, what? Are you kidding me?
That's pretty good.
But this is not armor piercing, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're still probably doing 3 damage. There you go. You got 1 point through. Is that enough?
Yeah. So yeah, because if you spend your extra one on damage, that'll be 3, which is enough. So where's my table of alien critical hits? Here we go.
Killed a Xeno with a knife.
Wow. That's one to tell the grandchild about.
Right.
Okay, so Dante, you pull out your knife, and I think this would still trigger acid, yes or no?
I would think so, all over the hand at least.
Yeah.
So we got to roll an acid check really quick. That is one damage. Go ahead and do your armor check on this one.
7 base dice.
Oh, well, no, I lost the exterior.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's true. 6 then.
Okay. Actually, my armor's already damaged, so I'm down to 5. Okay, so that soaks that, is that right?
That's right.
It does soak it, but it takes your armor down another
one
point.
more? Okay.
Yep.
So I'm just down to 4.
And so as you pull out this knife, what's it look like as you stab it with the knife? Where do you catch it?
I think that she pulls it out and then runs it up like underneath, as close as possible, underneath this part of the head of the xenomorph, and punctures through to its brain.
And it falls, because it was climbing along the side of the tunnel, it falls to the ground and lies there for a moment, and then you see movement as it's, with one shoulder, pulls itself back up, and then it leaps over Dante. And it leaps at Mason. Actually, sorry, I need to roll a d6 and see if it attacks or runs. Okay, so actually, it retreats. So it actually there's not a vent entry in here, so it's actually going to retreat back down the tunnel.
You stab it in the head, go for the brain, and it dies.
Exactly.
It's dead.
So you have managed to fight off this xenomorph. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take our next break. Let's do a quick 5-minute one. And I think we're going to come back together, everyone back at the mainframe room.
Okay.
All right. See you in 5 minutes. Okay. So after this daring flee from sublevel 2 and restarting the fusion reactor, the lights throughout the fort start to flicker back on. You can now see the terror of this place in full. The corridors coated in resin. You can hear, the scuffles and sounds of things becoming more animated and moving throughout the halls. But you all make it back up to the mainframe room. Silva, I think, do we want to say that you arrived first, or did you arrive at the same time? I'm good either way.
I'd probably be the same time or later. I think the things I was doing probably took more time than what they were doing. That's my guess.
That's fair.
Plus, I physically had to climb back up the elevator shaft, right?
That's
Although it depends on when the power came on. It's all about trying to like figure out where we were in the time frame.
Yeah, and this is totally the part of the movie where it's sort of like left to movie magic about
Right.
how they all got back at the same time.
I'll leave it to you. Whatever you think is best.
So I think it's probably pretty close to the same time that you're all arriving back, and you make it back to the mainframe, and the door slides open. You see Zhimyevsky sitting there at the computer terminal, and you don't see Jael anywhere.
Z, report. What's going on?
There's no response.
Oh shit. So yeah, I'll scan around real quick to make sure I'm not about to get jumped, and then I'll go check on Z.
You like a good Marine, check your corners. You don't see anything. And when you go and you spin Z in the office chair, you can see his combat knife buried into his chest.
Damn it. I guess I'll scan like the computer screen real quick to see if like I can tell what the status is on the space elevator and any clues as to what Jael might have been doing.
So you see, you can see actually that it's already been pulled up to the space elevator controls, and you see, flashing there in the green text that the space elevator is active and clamps are released.
Can we suspend that or stop it from here?
You could restart the clamp or re-engage the clamps, though you'll need them, disengaged for when you're ready to leave.
Is it a matter of like we have X amount of time to get there before it goes, or like is there a timer or something?
No, there's no like timer countdown or anything. And the controls for starting it are on board the elevator themselves. You can control it from here or on the elevator.
I see. So we could release the clamps once we get there.
Yeah.
Like if I locked it down, once we got there, we could unlock it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do that, and I'll try to, if maybe this is a matter of a stunt, but if I can, put in a code lock or something so that anybody that gets to the elevator can't release it until, we put in the code or whatever. But like I said, that might be a matter of getting a good roll.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a Comtech roll.
Okay. All right, Comtech. One success. I'm going to spend a story point if I can get some of what I was saying there.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense, and I like that. So Silva, you're able to re-engage the clamps, and enter in your security command to lock down this module so that only people with the passcode you specify should be able to disengage it. But of course, this is also a military system. There's always a hierarchy of, checks and balances. So who knows?
Sure. All right, and I'll get on the radio and I'll say, Dante, Mason, Hammer, wherever you guys are, make your way to the space elevator. Jael's trying to hijack it. We need to get there ASAP.
Yeah, so I was thinking that
We're all there.
you all
Okay.
kind of walk into this scene together.
Yeah. All right. So I think we take the most direct route to the space elevator.
And you can see from the readout that its openings are on service level 2 and service level 3. But based on status reports, you can see that the surface level 2 loading bay has collapsed in.
So maybe we go to that elevator that I just came up in and go right down to level 3. It seemed relatively clear of bad guys too, so maybe that's the best way to go. Okay, guys, let's load into this service elevator. Everybody lock and load, check your ammo, get ready for havoc. If you see Jael, blow her up.
So,
Gladly.
I'm curious, Dante. What's going through your mind right now? Are you thinking about leaving this place, knowing the state you might be in? You looking for something to help you?
I was hoping at some point to run across a med lab and see if I could get on an auto dock and see what's going on. But ultimately, no, the plan is not to get on the space elevator. I think that Dante didn't think she was going to make it out of resetting the reactor core. And so it's all borrowed time since then. And she does not intend to get on the space elevator.
So yeah, you'd know that there's med lab on service level 3 that's got some auto docks in it.
So yeah, I think she's thinking she'll make a detour, and if she catches up with people later, then that's great. And if she doesn't,
so let's have that scene then. So you all head into this service elevator that takes you down to sub level 3, and I think I've pulled y'all over. You think you've seen this map? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we would all start turning left, but Dante turns right.
Dante goes to turn right.
Do any of us notice that Dante turns right, turns the other way?
I would think you do.
Yeah. Dante, it's this way. Come on.
I'm not getting out of here, I don't think. I'm going to go into this med lab and see what's going on, but I think I'm in the same situation Hammer's in.
What are you talking about? You've been wearing a suit this whole time. You're fine. You haven't been bit. You haven't been exposed.
Something happened somewhere along the line. I don't know. I can't explain it. I thought you had something going on too, Silva, but you seem fine. I don't know. But I'm going to find out in the med lab. I'm not going to hold you up, though. You got to go.
Chaplain, help Dante out. Prove to her that she's fine. Mason, you and I, let's get to we're gonna hold it for you. You guys report in and double time it there as soon as you can.
All right.
Mason, you're with me.
So let's follow Chaplain and Dante first. Chaplain, who looks like shit himself. You can, the synthetic skin that he's got is irradiated and kind of drooping and, starting to slide off the bone in places now. He says, yeah, we'll just take a look. It'll be fine. These auto docs, they can work miracles now.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Is Chaplain went with Dante, like by themselves to the med lab?
Yeah. And you guys are running for the elevator, I think.
Yeah. I'll say, don't open the door to quarantine though. There's something squiggly and nasty behind there.
When you say that, she kind of like puts her hand on her chest again.
Okay.
I turn to the captain and I say, I don't understand. You left just Chaplain with Dante. Like, are we sure they're even going? Are we sure we didn't just leave both of them to die?
If we don't stop Jael, we're all gonna die here. Because if we set this place to blow up, by the way, did we? I think that was part of the plan, but I don't know if we ever did that. To self-destruct the whole place. I think that's what we're hoping to do.
We can say that was part of Chaplin restarting, because it's not something that, you know, it can go from 0 to blow up in a certain amount of time, right? It's like going to be an 8-hour build-up process of this fusion reactor building up.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll say, Mason, if we don't stop Jael, we're going to be caught up in a thermonuclear explosion here in about 8 hours. There's no other way out of here.
All right, Cap.
Chaplain will check her out and bring her along once she feels better.
All right, so Chaplain takes you to this auto dock, Dante. You slide the tube down, climb into the cavity where this robot will inspect you. And this is a medical aid roll. I am, let's look and see who. This is probably Chaplain that you want to do this, but let's see what yours is.
My medical aid?
Yeah, you're gonna want Chaplain to make this roll.
Yeah.
But you climb in, and just before he starts it up, he says, "I just want to make sure you're sure about this. These things can go wrong. This alone could possibly kill you."
I need to know if something's in there, for sure.
Okay.
And out.
Let's see. All right. Failure in this case did mean death, so you don't die from it. So he runs the diagnostic scan, and sure enough, we see this creature inside of your chest, Dante. And Chaplain kind of turns the screen so you can see it. He says, "Well,
can you?"
Yeah, Dante.
Can you make this thing take it out of me?
It's pretty close to your heart there, Dante. I mean, it's not a good chance.
Just try it. This is all I got. This is my only chance.
There's another option. Now, I did some quick digging on this whole Project Life Force thing, and the science is shaky, but the whole thing they were looking to do is make an antidote that can stop these things. And I mean, this is where they were testing it. We can look and see if there's any of it left, and you know, you could try taking some of that.
There's a flashback to the bag, the burning bag full of syringes, I think. With okay, but listen, if it starts to happen, can you override your programming? Can you kill me?
What we can do is we'll give it to you in the auto dock. It's trained to attack. It's programmed to attack, you know, hostile creatures that might harm a person, right? I think it can handle it if something goes wrong. And so you see him like start going around this med lab to the different freezers and coolers, and of course, he pulls out from one of the coolers this another sample of this syringe. Says, "Okay, what do you think?" I mean, we can try removing it, but I honestly can't say which one's going to be more successful. All right. He walks over. He uncaps the syringe. He jabs it into your arm, and he presses the plunger, and you feel a hot liquid inject into your body. Go ahead and make a stamina check.
Where is that? I don't see stamina.
I think it's strength based, so it should be up by strength.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good Lord. There it is.
Oh, no. You can't push, though.
Good push.
Well, I have no choice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like make it or die time.
Yeah, and this is actually,
have
since
any-
this is a virulence check, and so you actually have to get like multiple successes.
You don't have any story points, right? You used them all?
They're
Yeah.
burned. Yeah.
Used them on the
Yeah.
RPG.
I did.
Yeah.
So I can push.
Yeah.
Just mark my stress.
Add
and,
a test, yeah. Up
and I'm
to
gonna push.
9. Yeah. But
Okay.
you're gonna
Make a panic check.
because you're.
Okay.
Yeah. This is where it goes wrong.
Whoa!
Let's see.
Uh,
Panic
Flee.
13.
Flee.
Yeah, I try to fight my way out of the auto dock, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you panic and you push the glass out of the way and you climb out of the auto dock. Which way do you flee? Do you where do you want to run to?
Have I lost? Let's see. I've lost my mind. So I'll say I'm gonna roll a die. Oh, a d6. 1 to 3 is toward the quarantine lab, and 4 to 6 is the other direction. So I head toward the quarantine lab.
Oh. You do lose a point of stress for what it's worth.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The relief of getting away, I guess.
So
So you could pull that door open and try to get into the quarantine lab.
Yeah.
And okay, there's a couple things happening here, right? you did not pass the stamina check.
Right.
So you feel your body immediately begin to shift and transform. You can feel your bones elongating and growing, breaking the skin and jutting out as your skin starts to turn, translucent colors. And I'm going to let you take it from there as Dante transforms into this horrible beast, trapped in this room with the chest burster. Go ahead and give us the scene of Dante's final moments.
Wow. I think that she keeps moving, but she's kind of developed as her legs the bones start to lengthen. She's developed this weird kind of gait, and it's hard for her to stay upright. And so she's kind of bouncing off the walls as she goes into the quarantine lab. And she is reaching for her chest still, and her fingers are continuing to elongate, blasting out of the skin and kind of curling up her shoulder as she walks in there. And her jaw drops open, And does this trigger the chest burster as well, or negative?
I think it could either trigger it or Dante could take action against it. But there's definitely something that happens with it. Yeah.
Are you talking about the chest
okay.
burster from your own body or the chest burster that was already trapped?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the one from my own body.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to also.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think then she takes these long claws and she pushes these long bony claws into her own chest and kind of like pulls apart her rib cage a little bit. And there's a membrane inside. I can't remember if are they in the stomach? I can't remember. Do they actually lay in the stomach?
I don't remember if it's that or like the upper digestive tract or what it is.
And starts to like claw through the through the stomach. She's barely human now, and the chest burster is starting to like push through the stomach as well, and just pokes through, and she pushes her claws into the head and body and impales it on her fingers, and then just falls to her knees, just kind of holding it on the ground in front of her. And I think that at that point we cut away from that scene.
Yeah. All right, that is the end of Dante. Mark, would you like to control Chaplin for our final moments in this game?
Yeah,
I'll give you Chaplin's thing. 1 second. Let's see. Let's go to edit and add
Queuing
this
up the Terminator
Mark.
theme from on my Spotify.
Oops, did I do that right?
Yep, he's right here.
Okay, cool. So Chaplin will arrive here in a moment. So Silva and Mason, you head over to the space elevator shaft, and I'm actually taking us back to the other map again, because that's where they put the car schematics. So you find the airlock. There we go. We're down here in the bottom right corner of the Fort Nebraska map. You find the airlock open and accessible, and you open it up. And sorry, 1 second. I lost my little blurb to read. Here we go. The air here is fetid. The cargo bay floor is covered with ropey tendrils and shattered storage units peppered with large leathery bulbs. Squat, blind albino aliens scurry to and fro, regurgitating resin and smearing it across the walls. Some of them scuttle up the sculpted surfaces, hopping across the meter-thick secreted strands that stretch above into the center of the bay. Suspended there is a nightmare. Curled up on a massive translucent sack is a tall and gangly ebon monster, its person-sized black-blue head crest dwarfing the pastry creatures crawling over it. The white creatures attend to the behemoth above, their obscene pink tongues lashing out to polish their sable queen's splayed crown. In return, she squeezes her bulbous ovipositor, depositing one more egg beneath her. So, you see this massive queen in the one area, and then all around this room are these worker albino xenomorphs. And then you can also see two of the bulkier, heavy-plated soldier xenomorphs. None of them have taken attention to you yet, because standing in the middle of this room, looking at one of the sacks, grazing it with her hand, is Jael, as she watches the creatures move to and fro. What do you do?
So I think I pull Mason off to the shadows, before we're spotted. Like we're not going to go in, like off to by the side of the door, like behind the door. Long, deep breath. Go, shit. Well, Mason, I don't think we're leaving this place. Our ride looks to be the worst place of all.
Seems so.
Maybe we can somehow get past them and vent it out into space once we get out of the atmosphere.
That seems like a good plan, Cap. But I think I'm prepared to take down as many of these fuckers as possible.
You want to try to run a distraction and I'll try to sneak by and get to the control room? Because that's higher up, right? It looks like I have to go up some stairs, then up a ladder, if that's even...
That's right. There's stairs up to this platform, and then a ladder that takes you up to the third level, level A, which is the control deck.
Right.
Just you and me now, boss. Surely there's a more foolproof plan to...
Yeah. Dante, Chaplin, you guys on your way?
I think that's probably about the time Chaplin is walking their way back from the med bay.
Chaplin says, Dante is, I believe, dead.
It was
an unfortunate mishap. Unfortunate mishap.
Was he infected?
Yes.
Shit. Look, from what Jael's, she's standing right in the midst of them and they're not attacking her. Chaplin, maybe, how do you feel about trying to sneak around and getting up into the control deck? And I don't know, taking this thing up and trying to vent these things out into space. That's what Mason and I were just thinking of doing. And if they spot you or attack you, maybe we can give you some cover.
I can try that.
Okay. So I guess that's what we'll do, for lack of any better plan. We'll have Chaplin try to sneak around and we'll be covering them in case, they go for him.
All right. I've added Chaplin here to the airlock area. So,
and maybe I'll be like, Chaplin, it looks like if you go to this angle here and move that way, that would probably be your best approach. So maybe I'll use my command skill to try to give him some extra dice. Maybe
yeah, that makes sense.
On a mobility roll.
Yeah, because this is going to be Chaplin's mobility versus all of their observations.
Yeah.
Mother, I do have Chaplin's bio and info, but I don't have his complete character sheet.
Oh, interesting. Let me take a look.
For what? I don't necessarily need it. I don't know.
So it doesn't show the character sheet part? Oh, I you know what? I bet I know why. Maybe I need to do this part. Here we go.
Okay.
How about now?
And Mark, I got you one extra die.
That fixed it.
I panicked, but I didn't I held it together.
Okay, excellent. Oh, come on now.
So yeah, you can go ahead and make your mobility check. I'm gonna roll some observation checks.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now nothing is appearing for Chaplin. Now he's completely blank. It was there for a moment, but now.
Oh no!
Oh, hold on a second. Okay, now it's all good again.
Okay.
All right. So I'm sorry. Mobility check.
Yes.
Okay.
one extra die from me.
Okay.
No.
And synthetics can't push it.
Nope.
So, Chaplain, I think you probably, make it to about the base of the stairs. I will say you're a few steps up. When the queen starts emitting this loud hissing sound and turning her head from left to right, and you see like a hive of insects, their movements immediately transition as all of these smaller worker ones actually retreat towards the queen, but the two large soldier ones then start to surround you, Chaplain. And Jael looks over to you and says, "They're just magnificent, aren't they? This will be the Colonel's greatest victory." What do you do?
Let's see. So even if I sprinted up there, I don't think I'm going to have time to
Yeah, I mean, we could.
override the system.
I think this is probably where Mason and I would probably start firing at this point. Sounds like.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can probably go ahead and do initiative.
Okay.
And see.
Would we be on the equivalent of Overwatch? Maybe we'd get one shot off as they do their thing before initiative.
I'm up for that. Seeing
Okay.
as y'all kind of had a plan in mind.
Okay. Yeah, this one closest to me, I'm gonna try to flame it.
I have to add so many Xeno turns.
Yeah. Range combat. Is that one closest to me? Would that be short range or medium?
That one's probably short. I think this whole thing
Short.
across, it's like medium from one side to the other.
Okay. So is it lit up in here or is it dark?
It is lit up.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we don't have a map for the. Oh wait, there it is.
All right, so I get 4 successes. I'm gonna put it all in damage. So 5 fire damage and then the fire intensity also.
Okay. 1 second. One more of these to add. Okay. And then okay, so you're going after this this soldier down here, this closest soldier.
Yeah. So I do a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fire damage.
Wow, very nice. Let me roll armor for it.
That's a nice roll.
Yeah.
All right, and it only blocks 1. Okay. Mason, you get a shot off into this
Yeah.
area.
Would the flamethrowers reach as far as this guy? Why am I not pinging?
This
Ping.
further one?
Yes.
They have medium range, so they should be able to.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's. I realize I hadn't even given a thought to reloading the other rifle yet. So just to play fair, I'll go with the flamethrower.
I'm fine with saying you would have reloaded, in the elevator or at some point, but
Right.
fire is pretty effective in these scenarios. So
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Incinerator. Attacking. No modifiers, right?
You're shooting the one farther. That means medium then. Is that right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's -1.
-1, yeah.
Oh no, the incinerator is medium also.
Well, it has a maximum range of medium, but when you shoot at something at medium range, you have a -1. It's just
Got it.
hard.
All
It's
right.
harder to hit things farther away.
Yeah. All right. That sounds legit.
Oh.
So just a panic.
Oh no. I guess I could push.
No, you can't because you got a face hugger.
Right.
That's right. That's right. Silly me.
Yeah.
So
It's just a panic.
yep, hit it at panic. That's a 4.
Okay.
You're good.
Holding it together. All right. If
This
y'all
is
go
so
ahead
useful.
and roll your initiative counts.
Okay.
This cool head thing is so useful. If ever I create a character, I'm taking it.
Yeah, it is a good one.
Let's see. Chaplains didn't show up. I'll add 11 right there. Silva 7.
7. Yep.
And then, oh, we can remove Dante. And, oh, wow. I rolled 1s for the queen both times. Okay, so the queen is up first then. I'm going to say, it's that scene from Aliens, right? Of the queen pulling and tugging as the sack rips away. And then it comes charging out into the middle of this cargo bay. And I think y'all have got a bit of cover there at the airlock, and this thing, oh, well, actually, sorry, it's a massive cargo airlock, right? So they loaded this thing through it, so it can fit through it. So it's going to come rushing forward looks like Mason is there in the front. And where did here it goes. Let's roll, see what it does. Okay. It rears its large crest head down at you and attempts to bite at you.
Okay.
And that is only 1 success. Okay. So go ahead and roll your armor.
All right.
Is this going to be more of John can't hit with the aliens?
So you got that extra point. So you got 7 base dice for your armor.
Okay. I just click base dice and type 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. 1.
You blocked it.
Yeah. So this thing like starts to try to bite at you. But I'm picturing that you like raise the flamethrower a bit and that it causes it to rear back. But it is acting again. Let's see what it does this time. Tail spike. So instead, its tail juts around from the side.
Okay.
Also,
armor, right?
All right, now
go,
make an armor
yep.
check.
Same one.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, it's okay. This is armor piercing, but that's fine. So that is it for the queen's turn then. This I think the soldiers will first go for Chaplain. Let's see, where are we at here? Here we are. Oh gosh. All right. So it's going to attempt to capture you for the hive. This is 12 base dice. Man, only 1 success again.
Chaplain doesn't have any armor, though, I don't think. No.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
So when it's trying to capture, and then what's that look? Is it trying to like grapple?
So it's an attack with its venom spiked tail, and I'm actually thinking that this probably doesn't really work on a synthetic.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So it is going to be damage 1.
Okay. Chaplain's down to 1 health.
Yeah, and I think we'll just leave it at that. And I think yeah, it's just, doesn't totally understand why you're not paralyzed and ready to be cocooned. So up next is Mason. Mason, you have this large queen in your face, biting at you, thrashing its tail at you. What do you do?
You're muted.
Is this engaged range at this point?
Yeah.
Whew. Oh God. Let's see. What's the action economy? Just take a step back, and will I draw
You have to
attack of
make it.
opportunity?
You have to do a mobility roll to avoid that. But yeah, you could use a fast action to move back, to retreat, I think is what they call it.
And that if I use that fast action, will I still have a
You still have your
sta-
slow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just a fast action retreat back and then unleash fire on this guy, on this lady, on this. I'm sorry to misgender the alien.
Lady.
On this Disney princess.
So mobility.
Yeah. All right, let's do the mobility check. Is that good? Did it come out good?
It's something. You've got successes, but you've also got face huggers.
Panic.
Okay. Putting up panic and rolling panic. Oh, whoa.
So it's only a
9.
9, so you do succeed, but you drop
Yeah.
something. That causes you to gain a stress.
Oh, what do I drop? Oh God.
So
yeah.
this is the GM's choice for what you drop. I mean, gosh, I feel like I'm being harsh, but I think that's most appropriate that you drop the flamethrower, right?
Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier how I was Mason was using the flamethrower to sort of like fend off the alien's attacks. So I think that's exactly the moment when she actually drops it instead.
Yeah.
And
flame
then
it, and
because
then
of
it
the
knocks it out
drop,
of your hand or something.
yeah, she retreats, and I guess we'll try to, use another weapon if possible.
Well, you still made you. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. You still have your slow action. I guess. Yeah, you probably just have to pull out another weapon. It sounds like pull out your pulse rifle.
Yeah, I'll have to pull out pulse rifle.
Yeah, and you got that. You picked up that like heavy pulse rifle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That sounds pretty cool.
But yeah, you get out of engaged range at least. So I just moved you back a little bit.
Yeah.
Whoops, I just skipped over. I think it was.
I think it was
That's
an
this
alien.
one. The other soldier. So this one jumps up onto the platform that you were trying to head up, Chaplain, and it'll come at you from the other side. Oops.
No, don't get Chaplin. I want his radiated, bleeding half like on that ship.
All right, this is also. I think I counted wrong last time. That's okay, because this one is capture alive. I think I rolled the wrong attack last turn. That's a lot more successes on that one. Oh yeah, and you don't have any armor, so yeah.
No.
So
Is this that almost the queen ripping bishop apart move?
I think this is because it's with the tail blade. So I think it's like the second one comes up and its tail blade like just goes straight through Chaplin.
Yeah.
From probably through the back, right? Because you were facing that other one, and so it's like with Bishop, right? The tail cutting through and this milky white substance spewing out, and then you're left laying there.
Well, he's broken, so there's a
Right.
special broken table for androids because androids are
That's right.
super resilient. Like you actually can keep going until you get, I think, system breakdown is what it's called. It's kind of like, you know how like Ash and Alien just they beat on him and beat on him until he
Yeah.
finally stops. You're kind of the equivalent. So I think it's a D6 roll.
I
I don't know
think
if you have this table, John.
here it is. Yeah, it's under combat, synthetic critical injuries. So
Okay.
yeah, go ahead, roll a d6, Mark.
Okay, I'm at 0 health. I got a 2.
So destroyed leg servos. So both of your legs are non-functional,
Okay.
and you must stay prone and can only crawl.
Okay.
So yeah, you actually are not like, dead. You just can't get up and move. You have to crawl around.
Happy.
A metaphor for 2020.
All right, so I think it's my turn.
Is
Well, I guess it's going to be a flamethrower. I am going to flame. Oh. I'm going to flame the one that I injured earlier. Try to finish that one off. All right. So incinerator, attack, submit. So I got nothing. I will push it.
I was about to ask. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have any story points left, or have you used all
I
of yours?
have one. I'll
Okay.
hold it for now. Range combat, submit. All right, that's one. Actually, should have rolled it. There's no modifier, so it's the same roll, but I should have rolled the attack button. But so I do 2 damage for the flame, and then I roll 9 base damage for the fire intensity. Base dice 9. So I'm doing 3 fire damage on that one. Same one I hit
Okay.
earlier.
All right. It blocks 2 of it, but it only had 1 health left, so that is enough to take
Sweet.
it to 0. Let's see what its critical injury is. 3. Desperate action. Xenomorph is severely wounded and cries out in alien fury. Immediately performs a fast and slow action outside of normal turn order. Right, and it says to roll a d6. On a 4 to 6, it instantly attacks the closest opponent. Okay. So I think that's still going to be Chaplin, trying to crawl along there at the end, up the staircase. And so it is going to make a, let's see here. It says it does the one for all. The Xeno leaps at the largest group of enemies and roars. So that doesn't quite work. Let's just say it does the next one up, the all out attack. So throws its claw fang and tail at the victim. Where's my window at? Here we go. Oh,
Wow. All right.
misses on all of them.
And then it dies or it flees or
And then, yeah, if it fails to inflict any damage, it dies.
sweet.
So that one is down. I will just delete that. Attempt 2. There we go.
And then I have a fast action. I'm going to, let's see, we're at the end of the round, so I couldn't really. I'm going to tell Mason to fire at the soft underbelly of the queen. So try to give him some extra dice with a command roll with my fast action. So command submit. So you get +4 dice, Matthew, on your next fire combat against the queen.
+1 or +2?
+4.
Oh, +4. Okay.
If Silva
All right.
pulls this thing off, that's gonna be pretty epic.
Yeah.
All right. Next is this other alien, the one that had just tail spiked Chaplin, who I suppose will continue that action.
Chaplin's tanking for us.
Yeah. This is the head bite. So
Oh.
roll 10 base dice. Misses. You're doing better crawling along than you are on 2 feet. Okay, there you go though. Chaplin, you're up. You got 2 arms and you can't be hit. What do you want to do?
I think you mean Chaplin, you're down.
Yeah.
So when you can crawl, it means you can move it. You can move a space, but you have to use your slow action to move.
I'm gonna keep trying to crawl past this alien to try to get to the console.
All right. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to make you do a mobility check.
I'd say so. I think
so.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
You just need 1 success in this. Or
Nope.
not. So it gets a free attack on him. But he does move.
All right. All right. So it'll leap at you. And you have to make another mobility roll.
Oh boy. Oh dear.
There you go.
All right. This you Chaplin is just unstoppable right now. So I don't have a turn for Jael, but Jael is acting. What y'all see Jael doing, right, is you see her kind of run over to the platform, this platform, right? And she just kind of jumps up, grabbing on to the side, the pipes and the railing and such, and starts to climb up and pull herself up onto this platform, as she's heading off to do something.
Okay.
So we are back. Sorry, was there a question?
Well, she's heading toward the supervisor platform.
Yeah, she's climbed up. She's climbing up onto the supervisor platform.
All right.
So we're back to the queen, who will continue pressing the attack. Looks like Silva is now probably the closest. So she will attempt to bite at Silva.
I'm going to use, it's a new round, so we get our actions back. I'm going to use my fast action to try to block.
Okay. And sorry, I actually can't remember how blocking works.
You roll the same as normal, and then I make a close combat roll, and each one of my successes will take away one of your successes.
Awesome. And this is with 10 dice. All right, 2 successes.
So I got 1. So unless I get a 10 or above on this panic, I'll block one of those. Panic. 6. So I'm holding it together. So you get
right.
1 success is what you got.
All right, and I think that means you need to roll your armor and see if you can block this damage.
How much damage is it?
It's damage 1.
I got
All
2.
Right. So you're able to block as the queen comes in, biting at you. but then it will make a second attack.
Same thing.
Same thing.
I'll use my other action to block again.
Okay. Also 2.
I got 1, so I stopped one of them.
All right. So
Then armor.
Yep.
Did I roll? There we go. 2. Block 2.
All right. Hanging in there. The queen's biting at you and can't quite get to you. Mason's up, though I think Matthew might have just had to step away for a moment.
Okay.
So that's fine. We can come back to Matthew because the queen's not going anywhere. And I think that's
the alien that died is not on 6, or is that the other one? Do you have
let's see. Yeah, that's the other one. Because there's only 2 turns left. 6 and 10.
Do they both? Oh, I see. You took them off the chart. The other one, the one that died, is off the chart now, or did they all go the same? Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that one. So that one, is still pursuing Chaplain over here. So it comes in for a head bite. That is 10 base damage. Two hits. And you don't have any armor, right?
Yeah, you roll on that D6 table again. You take another critical.
Here we go.
And how does that work with, because it says if it deals any damage, it automatically inflicts critical injury number 64. Does that apply to synthetics?
It does. I mean, it smashes his head in, but it just doesn't automatically kill him like it would a human.
Right.
What'd you get on your roll, Mark?
A
3. And synthetic critical, that's destroyed arm servos. One arm is non-functional. Just a flesh wound.
Oh.
You're down to one arm.
You've got your legs aren't functioning. You've got a smashed in head, and one arm doesn't work. But the programming cores are still there, and they're telling you, gotta keep going, Chaplain.
Wow. And I already used my actions to block the queen, so I'm done. So you can do the alien again while we wait for Matthew.
I can. That's right. This thing is just gonna go until you stop moving. So this actually it is assessing the threat, so it hisses at you. But everyone within medium range gets +1 stress level.
Okay.
So that's gonna up Silva and Mason's stress.
Okay. And then it's Chaplain's turn while we're waiting for Matthew.
He's gonna
drag yourself again.
Affirmative. Mobility check or?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Well.
No, another free shot for it.
Wait, Chaplain has a story point that's unspent, it looks like. He's going to spend his story point to get 1 success. I probably should have saved it, but.
No, that's not a bad idea.
I'm good with that. And so you can keep moving up this platform.
And is Jael up there? I guess we'll get to her.
So I think, Jael being a fully able-bodied synthetic has now climbed up into the ladder and has started to make her way to the upper floors.
Where are the controls at?
They are on level A.
Oh. For some reason, I thought they were on the supervisor platform when I was like...
Yeah, I actually have no idea how a one-armed android is going to climb a ladder.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Kind of curious.
Well, I don't want to have us just hanging around. Let's give Matthew a minute or two, and then I guess maybe I'll make his roll for him.
That's
Okay.
I need
reasonable.
to.
We probably, I'd say we go ahead and do that because
Yeah.
I'm sure he won't mind.
Oh!
There he is.
Aha! Success. Hey,
Your
Matthew.
attack.
Hey, sorry, I'm pretty sure I was supposed to capitalize on 4 bonus dice.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
You are up. The team needs you. Kaplan is down to a single working arm.
His head's still intact, I hope.
Oh
No.
no. His head is crushed.
Yeah, that's true. But he's
Yeah.
still working.
But it still works, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, all right.
Get him to a data
firing
bank
away. Let's see. Incinerator unit is probably on the feet of that
That's right.
Queen Mother. So I guess we're going for the advanced pulse rifle. Attacking with bonus dice 4. I have 8 stress, so
Oh,
1,
well,
2, 3, 4, 5.
roll that stress. Hope you get a 1.
Panicking is a
Oh,
Okay.
12. I think that's screaming.
I think
It is screaming, yeah.
I knew it. I knew all those good panic rolls were gonna come bite me in the ass.
You lose your next slow action. Your stress is reduced by 1, but everybody near you has to make a panic check.
We're going to the cascading screams again, I think.
Yeah, here we go.
On the bright side, I get to scream.
I held it together.
Nice.
Okay.
It did ruin your attacks though. Unless do you have overkill? I bet you don't, but
I don't.
it's a talent, yeah. So instead of
Okay.
fighting, you just start screaming.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And then afterwards, Matthew, add a stress because there was something else that happened that caused you to gain stress.
I actually already
Did you give that to him?
added
Okay.
that, yeah. Which
Yeah,
I'm realizing now might have interfered with that roll. But there's decent chances of rolling a panic as it was.
Yeah.
When your chances of rolling a face hugger and a yellow are between 7 or 8, they're
Yeah.
It's almost the same.
All right.
Is that the queen attacking me again?
That is. So this is crushing blow. It brings its
I'll
entire.
try to block it again.
Okay. Let's see. Well, so actually, you need to make a mobility roll.
Oh, okay.
This is
Mobility. Submit.
And sorry, I should have said it's at -2.
All right, I'll do it again. All right, mobility -2. Submit. All right, 2 successes, a panic. 10. That would ruin my. I'm going to spend my story point to succeed, even though I get the 10.
That is a good idea because this thing is.
And a 10 is freeze. So somehow I get out of the way and then I freeze in terror as I see it coming at me. I lose my next slow action. My stress level and all friendly PCs in short range increase by 1. Matthew, go ahead and increase your stress another 1.
Yep. And it has a second attack.
Okay. So I lost my slow action by. Oh, that's the same one again, isn't it?
It is the same one. So you need to make another mobility at -2.
All right.
So what happens when I reach a stress level of 10? Don't worry, I'm at 9. But just saying.
I don't think there's a
asking.
max. I think you
I
just
don't
keep
think
adding.
there is.
Yeah. All right. I get in a panic, but I did succeed. I got a 9, so I dropped something, but I did get a success.
I just assumed that at stress level 11, you just get a heart attack. That's all.
So probably it smashes my flamethrower or something like that, right?
Yeah, at this point, I'm thinking there's little else to that's
Yeah.
meaningful to drop. So I think it, as it goes to crushing, just it's bringing its full weight down, and so I think you just barely manage to get out of the way, and you see your flamethrower knocked out of your hands and fall to the
Mhm.
floor. Mason, you are up.
So you lost your slow action though for screaming, so you're still just screaming. So you have a
Still-
fast
You have a
action.
fast action. You're not in engaged range, so you could just run. You can always run.
I can always run.
Mason, try to
The-
make
the
it to the
question-
panel.
I, I am making it to the panel. Yeah.
Okay. What path do you want to try and take? Do you want to try and head up these stairs? Keep in mind, the entire floor of this cargo bay is, spotted with those ovomorph eggs.
Yeah. I think. Is that Xeno still there in the retractable stairway?
Yes, there is still this soldier on this stairway. Though it seems to have its focus on Chaplin, this synthetic that just won't stop moving.
If I go this way around the catwalk, what are the circumstances that I will encounter here?
So you would have to move through some of the eggs, and there is a ladder at the bottom part that you could climb up to get up onto the catwalk.
Are they all eggs, meaning they're closed and they're just waiting to open?
Yes. So mechanically, the way it's going to work, if you move near the eggs, you're going to roll a stress die, and on a face hugger, it opens and a face hugger launches at you.
I was really tempted to do this, but you know what? I'm not going to do that.
Well, to be frank, you've got that option, or you've got the soldier xenomorph on the stairs. So
I
you
think
don't
at
really
least
have a great choice.
I think the soldier xenomorph at least. Yeah, you know, let's go to soldier xenomorph.
Okay.
So running towards that way. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll run over to these stairs, and you can get to the bottom of it just a bit. And it's actually up. So as you're running to the stairs, it is chasing after Chaplin. And let's see what this is. This is capture for the hive, which is its spiked tail. So it just needs to roll some base dice. Roll, and you don't have armor to block it, so go ahead and roll on that
D6. Yeah.
critical injury. What happens if you roll the same one?
You get the next one up on the list.
Gotcha.
Four. Have you had that one already? Head dislocation. Your artificial neck is severely fractured. Your head is placed in an unnatural position. All fast actions become slow actions. So basically, you just get one action now, but you're still kicking.
Yep.
My gosh. Oh.
We are working our way through this table. Okay, and that brings us to Silva.
Well, let's see. So I was frozen, so I lose my slow action. I only have a fast action. The queen is already gone. I guess I pull off my shoulder my pulse rifle. That's all I can do.
Okay. And we are back to the soldier who refuses to let this thing live. All right, this is 10 base dice. All right. And you don't have armor to block, so go ahead and
Roll a d6. Got a 3. You've already had that one.
Yep.
and you've had 4, right? So I think we're up to 5.
Okay.
Severe chassis breach. Internal organs spill out and the android is completely immobilized.
There you go.
The next one's guaranteed. I guess you could get the lower ones if you rolled a 1. Next time you might still survive.
Yeah, I don't know what you could do at this point though, because you can't
Yeah.
move. So
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Mark over here, having switched from the character with the impending death to the
Yeah.
irradiated down non-functional
Well,
android.
it's his turn. You have a slow action.
If only
Does,
Hammer were around for him to assume.
does he have any weapons? Not that's going to do much. But
I don't think Chaplin does, because Chaplin
no.
that's part
Okay.
of Chaplin's fire is he doesn't carry weapons.
Oh boy. So I don't. So really, there's nothing that Chaplin's got one arm, and that's it. Totally immobile.
Yeah.
You know, there's one thing you can do with a slow action. You could yell out a command to one of us to try to help us. With anybody can do that command skill thing that I do.
Okay.
You just make a command, like say what you're saying, and then make a command roll, something maybe to help Mason or whatever.
Sure. I guess the question is, I don't think that he's even aware that does he have any sensorium or anything that allows him to understand that anybody's moving? Is he aware of anything?
You know, I'm interested to hear your interpretation of, you know, how does a dying android, you know, still have some perception of what's happening and you know the ability to command something out.
Are we asking if androids dream of electric sleep?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the head is crushed and the neck is at a funny angle, but maybe it still has auditory and visual sensors. So that's not unreasonable. Okay, so I'll make the command. I'll I tell Mason I'll hold him off here. And nope, no successes.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably didn't even hear you. Your mouth's all messed up.
Yeah.
And at this point, Giles has disappeared now a couple of rounds ago. I think by this time she's probably gotten up to that control deck, and you hear, you know, klaxons and alarms start to beep, and you can see the large cargo bay doors starting to close in as this thing is closing up to now start crawling up to the ship above. And you know, the queen has got you, Silva, kind of on this edge, right? Of like, you know, you might actually have to push forward if you even want to catch a ride on this thing. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, do you want to drop out initiative, or do you want to have her attacks on me where we're here at? I mean, I think we're at the point, for my money, I think we're at the point where like we're gonna die. Like there's no way we're gonna survive this combat. You know, our stress has gotten so huge that, you know.
Yeah, and we're at 30 minutes over as well. So I'm happy to drop out, and if we want to, you know, do like an epilogue, and y'all can give us, you know, some closing scenes for each of you. How's that sound?
Sure. I was thinking, let me, to help establish that, given my spot, I think the best I might be able to do is to time rolling out as the doors slam shut and somehow survive this. To what fate, who knows? But anyways, if that sounds reasonable, then I'll use that for epilogues. But
yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
So yeah, any closing scenes for Chaplin or Mason?
I think that once they reach, so where does the space elevator terminate? At a dock or a platform where ships dock?
Yeah, there's you know, a ship that's docked at the top that's in geosynchronous orbit, right?
Okay.
With it, so it stays docked there. And so it's like a 6-hour ride. And remember, you know, this place was set to blow. So, you know, shortly after it docks, the moon colony is going to blow.
Okay. So I think that I think that Bishop actually just is left on the on the platform there, as all the creatures huddle onto the ship, get onto the ship in one way or another, and then when the moon base explodes, the remaining upper portion of the elevator and the platform are just ejected out of orbit for a time being until it's caught up in another planet's orbit here or something. And Bishop just remains on that platform, frozen in space until some later point when maybe somebody shows up and salvages it.
Yeah, I like that. How about Mason? How was Mason?
Well, actually, what I wanted to ask is what happened to Jael during this whole scenario?
So yeah, Jael has climbed to the level A to initiate this climber car, reaching to the top. And I think what we see on the screen when it reaches the top and docks is her exiting and then briskly giving orders for people to initiate containment protocols and to unload these creatures. And she says, "Project Life Force is not dead yet."
Well, you narrated it, but I was hoping to
Oh, sorry.
take her down.
Oh, okay. No, I'm good with that. We can
The
have
question
a
is whether I do.
yeah, we can have a a mid climb standoff.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So how does Mason um get up to control deck A and initiate, a last ditch effort?
I think. Well, this whole platform has been going up. Am I right?
Yeah, this whole car is
Yeah.
raising.
Yeah. So I think as the situation, escalates or rather descends into bad stuff, Mason would probably like try to secure a higher and higher elevation from the situation, such that she's on the edge of the car when it docks with platform A, and that's when I'd say Mason would lift up her rifle and point to Jael and say that she knows she's doomed. She knows that we're all dying or going to die, but she's not going to give the bitch the satisfaction of 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 fully meeting out her directives.
Yeah, I like that. All right, and so for Silva, who rolls out of the way just before the car leaves and is left behind on this colony that's set to blow.
I think Silva, lays there for a minute as the doors slam shut and, the sounds of the space elevator going up, and she pulls herself up and she goes in the elevator and rides up to the surface and goes outside into the snow and the gloom of that spaceship overhead and lays down and lights a cigarette. And then this huge figure appears, or kind of like comes up to her, and we see it's an engineer. It's
Can we just say that the cigarette that you smoke is slightly bent?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. So I have to dig down way deep down in the bottom of the pack to get that last half cigarette.
Yeah. It's a metaphor for the situation. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you everyone. That concludes our story of Alien Destroyer of Worlds. All right, I will end our recording now.